As always, before we go to you and ask of you, we would go to you and give thanks for you. We thank you, Lord, for your glory, your grace, and above all, it is your forgiveness, for we walk this world and fall short of your ways at times, but you never fail to bring us back to your side, to your path, and to your teachings. And for that, Lord, we thank you. And now, Lord, tonight we would ask of you, we would ask that you watch over the drivers who would compete here tonight, that the fires that drive them to be competitive would burn hot as ever, but the sportsmanship, fairness, and friendship behind it, those are the virtues that would prevail in a moment otherwise tarnished by anger and regret. We ask not only that you watch over the drivers who would compete here tonight, but you watch over the crews, the fans, the officials, all who have gathered on these grounds. And we give thanks that we live in a country which we can do so freely from persecution. We ask all these things and give thanks in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. Action making its way out to the Bloomington Speedway. Heat race number 1, brought to you by Simpson Race Products. 10 laps the distance. Got to be in the top 5. You want to make your way directly into the feature event. Lineup set to roll to the green like this. Driver on the pole out of Santa Rosa, California, the Lawson Rock and Oil. Hutchinson Power DRC number 1 is going to be Nate Shank. Outside of him, you're going to find Matt Westfall at Pleasant Hill, Ohio. The Ray Marshall Motorsports Buckeye Machine Fabricator, 10 Pete Water, number 33M. Next row from the inside, Xavier Doney out of Odessa, Missouri, driven the Motor Haven RV and Boat Storage. Stanton Shanae Lawson chassis number 74. And outside of him, Anton Hernandez out of Arlington, Texas. The Baldwin Fox Racing, Velocity USA, Fox Paving, number 5. CJ Leary inside of your third row. Driver coming to us out of Greenfield, Indiana. Driver the Altos Power Equipment, Valvoline, one-way DRC chassis number 15X. And outside of him, his teammate, and tonight's Honest Day Roofing Quick Qualifier at a Littleton, Colorado, the Altos Power Equipment. Hornbeck Concrete, one-way DRC, number 15. That is Carson Garrett. Jaden Rogers inside of your next row to Worthington, Indiana. The Midwest Dyno Services, Spec J&J chassis number 66. And to his outside, Todd Hobson at a Clyde, Victoria, Australia. Driver the Golf Factory, MBL Transport of Avon, Indiana. Freeland Powered, Maxim chassis number 77. Robert Ballou going to go for the inside of your fifth row. He's out of Rockland, California. The Suburban Subaru, Dean's Waterfront Service, Donna DRC chassis number 12. And to his right, that's going to be Logan Calderwood. He's out of Goodyear, Arizona. The MP Environmental one-way Triple X chassis, JFM Surecan number 4J. Final row from the inside in 10. That is going to be Gabriel Gilbert rocking a DRC chassis with a Chevrolet beneath the bonnet. The number 10G driver out of Greenwood, Indiana. And your final starter set to be the Honest Abe Roofing Metal Supply Depot Kistler DRC number 14 in. That is Kevin Newton. As that'll be your starting lineup for Simpson Race Products Heat Race number 1 with the USAC Amsoil Sprint Car National Championship. Joined in the booth as always by Miss Christy Bemis.
Hello.
How do?
I do.
You need nods.
I will say one thing. This is giving old school Bloomington, and I'm in love with it.
I have heard stories of the old school Bloomington, the curb that could be a couch cushion, and Drake highlighting that nicely earlier.
The tall tales, no pun intended, so feel free to laugh.
Of course, tonight is the Bob and Sheldon Kinzer Memorial, all a part of Indiana Sprint Week competition. Of course, tomorrow we head down to Tri-State.
A couple of drivers in the pits really kind of getting their game together for tomorrow at Tri-State Speedway. There's a good handful of drivers who look forward to that one all week long. You heard Kyle Cummins say it last night. This is the part of the week where he really looks forward to it. It's oftentimes you've got Carson Garrett, Chase Stock, and Kyle Cummins, drivers who are down from that Evansville-ish area of the state. They really, really like Tri-State Speedway.
Be interesting how it shakes out. A quick look at the standings for Indiana Sprint Week. We touched on it a little bit during the pre-race show, but now, if you missed that, we'll take a quick look at it here. Logan Seavey leading the way, of course, when he won 3 of them. Bound determined you're going to lead the points here. Got the win at Lincoln Park, got the win at Lawrenceburg, got the win at Circle City. Only 2 other drivers have gone to victory lane, Kyle Cummins and Brady Bacon last night. So, pace vehicle down into the infield, set to go to green. 10 laps. Top 5. You want to race your way directly into the feature event. Off at turn number 4 to the NOS Energy start. Can we fly? We're underway.
We're going to get him spun up, coming off of turn number 4. Carson Garrett, your fast qualifier, to the top side of the racetrack, but Logan Calderwood going to get up into the cushion and get turned around.
Nearly 3 wide onto the back straightaway for the caution lights came on. Calderwood, as Christie said, coming to a stop over on the outside of turns 1 and 2. So we'll bring it back. We'll try it again. Good start for Nate Shank, driver of the number 1 machine. So top 5 into the A. 6th, 7th, and 8th going on to the Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts semi-feature event. Everybody else going on to the TrailerAlarms.com C-Main. I'm glad to see they finally made a can of NOS in my size.
It's never enough.
Caffeine is the only thing I can afford.
Oh, I like that.
So good.
That was good.
So getting Calderwood pointed in the right direction in the MP Environmental number 4. He's been the 4C all week, but when we come to Bloomington, that is Dalen Chambers.
So that certainly switches things up. Keeps Devin on his toes.
We have to keep him on his toes.
So it's a complete restart, double file. We didn't have anybody come across the start-finish line that time around as they were yellow down the backstretch. So they'll give it another shot here. Might have had some drivers kind of figure out what they want to do differently this time.
So we'll see if the tactics change here. Keep an eye on that 3rd row, the teammates. See if they can race their way into the show here, back to green.
What an excellent start for Carson Garrett, who gets a very good run. He looks at 4th right now, going to stay in 5th as CJ Larry gets a good dig off the bottom as well.
Boy, Anton Hernandez shooting to the outside through turns 1 and 2. Nate Shank plowing it up through the cushion over in turns 3 and 4. Brings it back on the racetrack. Get the 77 right to his inside along with Robert Ballou. Both drivers avoid contact. As a 3-car battle for the 3rd spot right now, Xavier Doney has it. He has the BGE Darty Motorsports cam coming after him.
CJ Larry got a little bit checked up there, trying to avoid getting into the 74. Xavier Doney going to have to recollect. Carson Garrett gets right by on the top side of the racetrack. Anton Hernandez, Matt Westfall in front of him.
Matt Westfall fending off the charge of the Baldwin Fox Racing number 5 machine for the time being. Carson Garrett coming around to seal away the 3rd spot. Xavier Doney and 4th. CJ Larry right now with the final transfer into the feature event. Keep your eye at the front of this one. Anton Hernandez off of the cushion, up into the race lead, rolls the 5.
So Anton Hernandez gets a good run, protects the bottom side of the racetrack against Matt Westfall, who's going to make it another attempt on turn number 3 on Anton Hernandez, going to have the advantage on the top side.
Westfall picking up a couple of heat races, back to trio of heat races so far here during Indiana Sprint Week competition. trying to get back up in front of Anton Hernandez. Hernandez in the 5, started outside of the second row. He's got Carson Garrett now stalking him to the outside. He'll roll up into the second spot. In the Altos Power Equipment number 15, Westfall trying to charge back to his inside. No dice onto the back straightaway. Might have a challenge for the lead here.
CJ Lurie sneaks by Xavier Doney for that 4th position. That gets him off the bottom. And Carson Garrett up over the cushion, back onto the racetrack. Gets a little airborne.
Wow, Carson Garrett, he found a little bit of a hump in the cushion there and popped the car up in the air, but he holds on to a transfer spot. Rogers had rolled by the 15, able to retake, though. Brings her off of the cushion onto the front straightaway. So catastrophe avoided for the time being for Carson Garrett as the white flag's coming this time. Anton Hernandez. Doney, look out. Jaden Rogers hard onto the binders, avoided contact. And Nate Shank also coming in, trying to plant corn. Oh my, Robert Blue around backwards off of turn number 2. Caution light's going to come on instead of the checkered flag flying. This one not done yet.
So in the late goings of this one, coming off of the corners, drivers having a hard time keeping them pointed straight in the right direction. That incident there with Xavier Doney. That began with CJ Lurie getting a little bit loose coming off of turn number 4, trying to get it straightened back out. And you'll see a replay here of Robert Ballou and Jaden Rogers. Robert Ballou gets a little bit sideways. Jaden Rogers nowhere to go except over the front axle.
So it looks like, fortunately, the front axle didn't fold on Robert Ballou's number 12. You see the front tire still pointed in the right direction. And looks like even as he went around, they were moving in tandem with each other. So
well, that is the good news. The bad news is there's 1 lap left of this heat race.
So Anton Hernandez leading. Matt Westfall in second. CJ Lurie in third. Carson Garrett in fourth. Xavier Doney in fifth. Jaden Rogers in sixth. Then it is Hobson, then Shank, then Calderwood. Then it is Gilbert, then Newton if he's able to continue on. Ballou will line up at the tail.
Certainly going to be hard to make things happen in 1 lap here in heat race action. We do not guarantee the green-white checkered, so it's the green and white together this time.
So single file next time past the NOS Energy start can.
Just when it was getting good.
It might get even better here.
For the lead, though, Anton Hernandez essentially checked out once he did get past the 33M of Matt Westfall. Anton Hernandez has had a pretty great sprint week when you look back at the nights he's had prior to this one.
He really has. He's actually been kind of gaining a little bit. Last night, about his worst finish of the week so far. But he has made the show each and every night. Robert Ballou going to orbit the racetrack over in turns 3 and 4 there on the restart. And this one's going to have to come back, and they're going to try it again. Look out. Oh, Doney. Robert Ballou going to go in and take it down into the pits.
So we're going to try it again here. Another green and white together. 1 lap to go. Just some trouble getting it woed up, coming to a stop there. Or coming to a slow for that caution flag.
So again, the 74 pointed back in the right direction. So not sure what happened with the number 12, but Chris, you make a good point off Mike. Possibly damage from that incident.
I have to imagine. You don't often see the 12 of Robert Ballou spin out by himself. And
Yeah.
clearly some contact with the front axle with himself and Jaden Rogers. And sometimes when that happens, you get some bars broken in the front, and it makes it nearly impossible to turn the race car without spinning out. And I have to imagine that that's what's going on in the 12. So I'm going to have to call this one an L and try again in just a little while.
Going to find himself on the traileralarms.com. C main as your field comes back to green. Trying the one-lap shootout one more time here. Anton Hernandez this time not going up to the cushion. Goes to the bottom side of turns 1 and 2. He's going to go up to the cushion over in turns 3 and 4. Gets the Hoosier wound up. Round to the front straightaway. He will score the win in Simpson Race Products Heat Race number 1. Matt Westfall going to cross in second. CJ Leary, Carson Garrett, Jaden Rogers. Those 5 drivers are going to move on into your feature event. Hobson, Shank, Calderwood going into the Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts semi-feature event. Gilbert, Newton, Doney, and Ballou into the traileralarms.com C-Main. But your winner, race fans, out of Arlington, Texas, driving the Baldwin Fox Racing, Velocity USA, Fox Paving, DRC number 5, give him a hand, Anton Hernandez. Rod of Supply Heat Race number 2 coming up. Another 10-lap affair. The second of 4 heat races here tonight at Bloomington. Out of Westfield, Indiana, the Edge Rock Development Hoosier Speed. Rangeline Chiropractic, Steve Hines on number 718. Sam Hines going to be in the pole here in Rod of Supply Heat Race number 2. Brady Bacon going to roll to his right out of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. The Telstar Technologies, Davis Brothers, Fatheads, Hobson Family, number 69. Next up from the inside, Rylan Gray out of Greenfield, Indiana. The Speedtown Comfort Finish Line Mowing, Cartbright number 06. And to his outside for the 4th starting spot, Kyle Shipley to Phoenix, Arizona. The Cox Body Shop, Trainer Chevrolet Power Triple X Chassis number 4U. Briggs Danner out of Allentown, Pennsylvania. The Boulevard Truck Repair, E. Schneider & Sons Recycling. Apache Transport number 39. He will go from the 5th starting spot and from 6. Logan Seavey out of Sutter, California. The Yana Save Roofing, Rockville Security. Indy Custom Stone number 57. Inside of your next row, that is going to be Dalen Chambers out of Bowling Green, Indiana, driving the Riddell Farms Motorsports Unlimited Spike Chassis number 4C. And outside of him, Harley Burns driving the Britt Arrow DRC Chassis Timberland Lumber Company number 16. The 24M is Hunter Maddox out of Bedford, Indiana. The Auto Credit Airmaster Heating and AC Megacorp Logistics entry. He'll go for the inside of row number 5. And to his right is going to be Jack Hoyer out of Frankfort, Indiana, driving the Intake Management Group Claxton Triple X Chassis number 11X. Final row from the inside, Chance Crum out of Snohomish, Washington. The Routine Racing Scott Baylor DRC Chassis number 26. And your final starter is set to be Steven Schnapp out of Evansville, Indiana, driving the American New Long Johnny Chippo Power DRC Chassis, the final drive number 39F. As that'll be your scheduled lineup for Rod & Supply Heat Race number 2 of 4 here tonight. Tonight's AMSOIL Inside the Oval winner, you and a guest, Scott Pate. Again, Scott Pate, make your way up to the USAC merchandise trailer and check in with Brooklyn. Again, Scott Pate, you and a guest. Get the ride of the pace truck here tonight. You are our AMSOIL Inside the Oval winner.
So a couple of drivers to keep your eye on in Rod & Supply Heat Race number 2. Brady Bacon, of course, trying to chase down Logan Seavey for the Indiana Sprint Week title with only 2 nights left to go. Picked up that win last night at the Terre Haute Action Track. Logan Seavey then, starting right behind him, who does have 13 wins on the season so far with the AMSOIL USAC National Sprint Car Series. 12.
Currently.
12?
Do what?
I'm asking. I forget. 12?
13.
13.
Baker's does.
Did I miss one? No, I think I was there. It's been a long week.
It's been a long week.
You know what I mean?
3 wins on the week, a runner-up at Kokomo, and a 4th at Terre Haute. When 4th place is your worst finish of Sprint Week,
you can't complain too much.
No, cannot.
And he hasn't.
Off at turn number 4. The 71 brings us to speed. The 69 to the outside. Bacon rolls it up to the outside of the Speedway through turns 1 and 2. He's going to dart to the back straightaway with the race lead. Hines going to run to the 2nd spot. And it's going to be the 50. So look out on the outside, Rylan Gray.
Just up into the cushion, and it doesn't play very nice once the right rear gets into it. Logan Seavey had that same issue down in turns number 1 and 2, which has rendered him 4th on this initial start. Should be going back to a complete restart, though, so Logan Seavey going to get another stab at it.
And I believe Drake York with the report down trackside.
Well, Brian, Kyle Shipley was slated to start fourth here in Rod and Supply Heat Race number 2, but they've been battling with some motor issues. He pulled off just before the 1-to-go signal was given. I talked to Dave Anderson, the crew chief on the 4U earlier today. He said, well, we just had a lot of motor problems last night at the Terre Haute Action Track, so they changed it back and thought that was the solution, and the motor wasn't, or I should say didn't really sound up to snuff in qualifying. Still able to get a pretty decent lap in there, but obviously it's bigger issues now as he is out of this one before it even starts.
Tough break making the trip all the way to Phoenix, Arizona. So we'll try it again. Gray dropping to the tail end of the field as the cause of the caution. Started inside of that second row, so now going to have his work cut out for him as we go back to green. Hines with a good start initially. Bacon, though, was able to rock it up into the race lead, and it looks like Brady going to do much of the same. Works onto the back straightaway. Not quite the launch he had on round number 1, but round 2 still going to show the way into turns 3 and 4. Gets the right rear wound up, finds the cushion, and gone to the front stretch.
So Brady Bacon taking off in the 69 to lead Rod and Supply Heat Race number 2. Logan Seavey, a much better start this time around as he keeps it off the cushion and able to pick up that 4th position. Now Harley Burns running 5th.
Takes it down to the bottom side of the speedway in the tire tracks of the Edge Rock number 71H. Meanwhile, breaks Danner up into the 2nd spot in the Davis Brothers Boulevard Truck Repair number 39. He will pursue the bottom side of the speedway. Brady Bacon top side in 3 and 4 into the middle into turns 1 and 2. Ooh, we've got one bouncing hard over in turn number 4. I always make the reference of a 900 horsepower pogo stick. Oh, red light's going to come on. We got him tangled up on the back stretch. I always make the reference of a 900 horsepower pogo stick, and the 06 literally went straight up, came straight down, and then looking over on the exit to number 2, drivers going for a tumble. We got Crum in that mix. Hoyer and Chambers, the other 2 drivers involved. Chambers and Hoyer, the ones getting upside down. Cruz getting them righted. So drivers okay over on the back straightaway. I believe Drake down there. We'll see if he can get a word with one of the drivers. And I believe we also have a replay coming up here in just a moment. Drake?
Well, I've caught it with Jack Hoyer, who got tossed in the air in that accident. So good news is Jack's okay. Jack, what did you see and feel aboard the number 11?
Well, we qualified terrible, put ourselves in a bad position. 24M just spun out. I don't know how. I mean, this place is hooked up right now, and he just spun out in the middle of 1 and 2, and I had nowhere to go. So, I mean, I don't know. It sucks. Our sprint week's been pretty bad, so I don't know. On to the next one, I guess.
Do you think you'll be able to make it out in a lower semi?
I don't know. We'll see.
All right, a very dejected Jack Hoyer here in turn number 2. Brian, good news is he's up and out of the race car.
And it's tough when it feels like those blows just keep on coming. A couple of drivers on the struggle bus this week in that similar way. So definitely tough when you have that broken momentum to come back each day and follow up a day that you don't feel good about with one that you do. It's hard to get that up off the ground.
So it looks like we do have a replay here on the FloRacing broadcast. And going in the 24, again, getting sideways and everybody just piling in from there. As I believe Drake down trackside with another update.
Yeah, Brian, I've caught it with Dylan Chambers, who is also upside down in that crash. Glad to see you're up and out of the race car. What happened from your vantage point?
Like it's already been said this week, just part of running with the squirrels.
All right, pretty short and sweet there from Dylan Chambers. A lot of front-end damage on the 4C, Brian.
Tough break for Chambers, making his first Indiana Sprint Week start of the season.
And these are tough fields to compete with anyway, and it's tough when when you do get put in a situation with nowhere to go.
So we'll clear the scene over at the exit of turn number 2 and get this one refired and back underway. We have 3 in, 7 to go. Brady Bacon leading in the 69.
And so keep in mind he won his heat race last night as well and then went on to pick up night number 5 of Indiana Sprint Week.
You know, the track last night was very unique in how they had to handle the line and how the track kind of progressed throughout the night. It was around the bottom as the middle, and then Robert Blue from the back showed everybody the tops up here, bud.
Man, that was
started
cool.
rolling by, and then Brady actually started utilizing that high line, but instead of following it around, he was actually diamonding it down, and as the car came to what was kind of that middle cushion, he was using that to launch the car down and catch the moisture at the exit of the turns. He was able to really find some good speed.
You know, it just looks like he's done that a time or two at the Terre Haute Action Track, and
Just a
he
couple.
likely has. So I think what was really cool about what Robert did last night, nobody in front of him knew what he was doing. And you'll notice, if you watch the replay, you'll notice that nobody does that same thing until they get passed by the 12. And then all of a sudden they're thinking, okay, well, I guess I better move up.
And it was one of those where it was like, oh, who just passed me?
Right. Yeah, that was really cool. And I also, you know, I really enjoyed that we had a lot of skepticism about the racetrack, about the event in general, and then it turned out to be one of the better feature events we've seen this week. So it was exciting.
It was shown in the broadcast last night, the drone shots that Mike Burba was able to get and show kind of the before and after. We also posted a couple pictures on our social media feed showing at 11:55 what it looked like versus as we were getting ready to go green. So,
yeah, and if you were sane at all, you would say we were going to cancel it.
yeah.
And I'm pretty sane, so, well.
Sane. No, I'm not. So, Bacon leading, Danner in second, Seavey in third, Burns in fourth. Hines right now with the final transfer into the feature event. Round of the NOS Energy start, can we go? 7 remain.
So much speed out of the 69 of Brady Bacon. Completely pulls away from Briggs Danner, who gets a little bit more speed coming off of turn number 2. Now he might challenge for the lead.
Briggs Danner going to look to the inside line. Bacon up on the cushion and letting that right rear eat all at once as he's going to show the way up on the high side through turns 1 and 2. Again, keeping the 39 of Bacon to gap him onto the backstretch. Logan Seavey sitting in the 3rd spot right now. Harley Burns running it for Sam Hines, continuing to run in 5th, trying to get some insurance. Works to the inside of the Brit Aero machine. He's got the advantage and the pass into turns 1 and 2.
The battle for 4th heating up, and now Sam Hines going to pass Harley Burns. As you mentioned, Logan Seavey still running in a pretty comfortable 3rd for Briggs Danner and a comfortable 2nd as well, as Brady Bacon has completely taken off from this field.
Looking outside of the transfer spot right now, of course, you have Hunter Maddox trying to close into that 24. He's starting to do so. He's got Schnapp in tow behind him. Up on the outside, you got Chance Crum trying to make something happen up there. Now going by Schnapp here as they go side by side, the 24M and the 16. That's for the transfer spot onto the back straightaway. He's going to have the advantage. They work into turns at 3 and 4. The 71, he has fallen out of contention here as we are into the closing laps. In fact, white flag coming this time for Brady.
So it's a pretty great recovery for Hunter Maddox, who is now in a transfer position. He's all but punched his ticket to the main event tonight for night number 6 of Indiana Sprint Week. Chance Crum, mired back though, trying to find any way around.
Checkered flag dropping to this one for the Macho Man. Brady Bacon going to get the job done. Get. Man. Ronda Supply Heat Race number 2 going to Brady Bacon. Briggs Danner in 2nd. Logan Seavey in 3rd. Hunter Maddox and Harley Burns ends up with the final transfer into the feature event. Sam Hines, Steven Schnapp, and Chance Crum going on into your Elliott's Custom Trailers of Cart semi-feature event. Rylan Gray, Jack Hoyer, Dalen Chambers, and Kyle Shipley going on into the TrailerAlarms.com C-Main. But your winner, ladies and gentlemen, at a Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, the Telstar Technologies, Evers Brothers, Fatheads, Thompson Family, Dynamics Incorporated 69. Give him a hand, Brady Bacon. Try not to do my best Porky Pig impression this time.
It happens. We all do it.
Yes. Yep. So here we go. TJ Ford's Heat Race number 3. Brandon Maddox at a Terre Haute, Indiana, slated for the pole position in this one at the Maddox Heating and Cooling Pro Source number 28. Outside of him is going to be Weston Gorham at Colleyville, Texas, the Second Opinion Auto Center. Stanton Maxim Chassis number 71W. Second row from the inside, Ricky Lewis out of Oxnard, California, driven the Physical Medicine Consultants. Morris Farms, D Transport, J&M Racing number 41. And to his right, That is going to be Braden Fox out of Avon, Indiana, driving the Jarvis Enterprises at Betchador Motorsports Fox Power DRC chassis, number 53. The 19AZ inside of your next row, that's Mitchell Moles at Raisin City, California. The AME Electrical, Mississippi Valley Transportation, Walker Filtration, number 19. And outside of him is going to be Kevin Thomas Jr. at Coleman, Alabama. The Inferno Armor Lynch Machining, Lucas Oil Center, Stanton Mach 1 chassis, number 3R. Fourth row from the inside, he's out of Bonham, Texas, in the B-Town Automotive, Canada, DRC, number 21K. That's going to be Kobe Simpson. And to his right, Joey Amanti out of Mount Pocono, Pennsylvania. The JP Masonry Newman Triple X chassis, number 88. Looking to your fifth row, the nice starting spot's going to be Cale Drake at Collinsville, Oklahoma. The Honest Abe Roofing, Pendleton Farms, Claxton DRC chassis number 2B. And outside of him is going to be Evan Mosley. He's out of LaPel, Indiana, driving the CB Fabricating. Evan Jackson, Shanae Lawson chassis number 27. Final row from the inside, RJ Johnson out of Laveen, Arizona. The Next Gen Landscaping, Carts for Kids number 77S. And the 100, Justin Maneely. And the number 100 set to round out your lineup as Precipitation.
It is precipitating.
Beginning to fall. So we have instructed the drivers to go ahead and take it off of the racetrack. Please, please, please be careful making your way around the grounds, as we do have a little bit of a storm starting to roll in here, so please be careful. They're not aluminum grandstands, but they still get slick, especially if you're off in the grassy areas. Please be safe. Please be careful, as we are going to await this storm to pass.
Whatever you drive, however you drive. AMSOIL specially engineers lubricants to maximize power, performance, and protection in your vehicles, so you can work hard and play hard with confidence. Order online at amsoil.com.
Car IQ Pay allows people to pay for all vehicle expenses without a credit card or a fuel card. As an all-in-one payment solution, Car IQ Pay takes care of every step of the fueling journey, from station routing to payment and fraud prevention to simplification to back-end reconciliations. Drivers can find the nearest fuel station right on the app's fuel map, or even filter locations based on their preferred merchant or fuel type. It's seamless. Just a quick enter of the pump number and you're ready to fuel up. Car IQ Pay generates an automatic virtual receipt that enters into a single transaction ledger, giving fleet operators a complete simplified view of their total spend. What's even more, Car IQ Pay gathers vehicle data to give fleets complete transparency into their fleet, from route behavior to overall share of wallet. Car IQ, the better way for fleets to pay. Find out more at gocariq.com.
Honest Abe Roofing is America's favorite roofing company.
They took the time to discuss all of our needs.
I couldn't be happier with my new roof.
The best part? They came in under budget.
Honest Abe Roofing helped us with their easy payment solutions, and now we can make low payments on the roof that we actually wanted.
I guarantee you'll get the best price for your roof. That's what my ironclad lowest investment guarantee is all about.
Race fans, use code RACE for 10% off of a full roof replacement from our executive collection.
Welcome to our world. A world of dirt, drift, and dodging fate. A world where all of motorsport collides. A world of digging deep, of grit, glory, and bitter defeat. Inhabited by the strong, the fearless, the barely sane. Welcome to our world. Welcome to the world of NOS.
Bring on the punishment. Steel-It polyurethane coating is proven protection. The pure stainless steel microflake formulation shields against corrosion and the toughest environments. Use Steel-It on any metal part, chassis, suspension components, arms, and more. On-road, off-road, no road, Steel-It doesn't care. And maintenance is a breeze. Steel-It's easy to touch up, and the steel, gray, charcoal, and black are weldable. No need to remove the coating to repair parts.